Good morning, campers. So, job's nearly finished. There's a few bits of this job that I'm not actually doing. So we've got a roof exit flue, Viessmann 200. This is all in the cubicle that I said in the last video that we've built. So all the carpentry work here is mine. And this is on plate heat exchanger. You've got the Viessmann 300 unvented cylinder in the background there. And we've got the 3 circuits. That's one mixed. Two mixed and one unmixed. There's some stuff unfinished here. This pipe work's temporary. All the white stuff's temporary for the other engineer on the site. He's going to be connecting up the water supply into the unvented and the hot's out and secondary circulation. Got the secondary circulation pump installed there. Cables on the floor there. As you can see, because they're on there running because that's dry. Got a temporary connection there. Viessmann have run out of cylinder sensors, so we've put a cheap NTC in there. So that's just a temporary job just to get the hot water running while we're waiting. So, okay, beautiful colour display on these, love it. Okay, so someone asked me about my gas pipe. They wanted to see it installed. So this original section, now I couldn't get this lined up, so we've ended up with 2 joints there. But from this joint onwards, we have the one piece I showed on the previous video going through, down, around, set back, down the bottom, around 90, and it follows through to the back there where it joins a track pipe there, and that was perfect straight from the bender. So, right, okay. What were the other questions? Bonnie on the mixing valves. So Bonnie was asking about how the mixing valves function, or the mixer groups, and excuse the noise, there's a lot of air in the system. So basically what happens here, this valve controls the temperature of water in each circuit, and so whatever the temperature coming in, doesn't matter. This valve will open this way or close this way and control the temperature of water going in that circuit, and it's measured by this sensor here. And the control of this valve is from one of these little relay boxes. You may hear it clicking a few times during the video, and that's the unit hunting. So what it'll do is it will just move the valve slightly, remeasure the temperature, move the valve slightly and remeasure the temperature until it gets the temperature correct. So we'll be getting the correct flow temperature to match the curve, the weather compensation curve. That's it. So a mixing group contains a pump, and you can get these with various heads, a mixing valve with various authorities, and a pair of isolation valves and a non-return valve. I can't remember where the non-return valve is. I think the non-return valve is in this side here. Okay, so it has all of that equipment all in one and in an insulation box normally. So now one of the interesting things about these is that because of valve authority, the boiler provides water into the circuit at 8 degrees warmer than the actual required temperature for the circuit. So whichever circuit requires the highest temperature, the water from the boiler will be coming in 8 degrees warmer than the highest temperature required, and each one of these blending units here will then blend the water down to send the correct temperature through to each circuit. And the reason for that is that valve authority, when the valve opens, it only actually has authority over part of the range of the movement of the valve. So at some point, as it opens, it will no longer be having any effect on the temperature. So what it'll do is it will sit in a position where it's got authority, and it has to do that if the temperature of the water coming in is slightly warmer. So the valve is always in control, it's always controlling the flow, and therefore the electronics don't become confused. So yeah, something to bear in mind, that if you are going to have mixed circuits like this, you will get some efficiency losses at the boiler, not just going through a plate or a low loss header where you've got the distortion factor, but you've got this additional, it's like a double distortion, if you like, where you've got the extra temperature coming through to go into these mixer units. So, and I'm pretty certain that's right. I don't think I've got it wrong. I know that there's a temperature lift from the boiler to the plate and to a low loss header, and that's determined by the common flow temperature, and therefore it makes sense that the same is happening on a plate, that the boiler is running hotter to drive this through at a differential of 8 degrees from the boiler flow to the secondary flow into this system. Anyway, I hope that helps.